Quick video to talk about the Longines Flagship Heritage. This is a fantastic dress watch. This could be the one watch that you buy that you wear every single day, especially if you like to dress in a more kind of classic or elegant way. I like to wear tailoring a lot. My menswear, this channel is dedicated to menswear. And Longines sent me this watch to wear for a few weeks, and I've really enjoyed wearing it. It's 38.5 millimeters. I in particular like this, which has the gilt dial accents. So the hour markers are gilt as well as the handset. I really love the small seconds. I think that's really classy and elegant. And I think this case back medallion is pretty cool, although that's not something that you really see. Like I said, 38.5 millimeters, and I think it's a 47 millimeter lug-to-lug distance, and the thickness is 10.3 millimeters. It's a dress watch, so I think it's 30 meters of water resistance is appropriate. I think it's 19 millimeters between the lugs. It comes on a leather strap. I don't see myself putting this on any other kind of strap to wear it while swimming or anything like that. I suppose if you wanted to put it on something, I mean, they do make water-resistant leather straps nowadays. But looking at the details, the 6 o'clock date window is nicely framed. It's sort of out of the way. It's got the classic Longines wings. It says automatic and flagship in this dial. Like I said, the small seconds I like. I think that gives it a nice sort of classy appearance. It's elegant. It looks, the whole thing just reminds me of mid-century vintage pieces, but it's modern, and 38 millimeters is a perfect size. If you want to go vintage, you can. I have a vintage Omega DeVille from 1966. It's 34 millimeters. It's fantastic. But with these modern movements, you just don't have to worry about, the date complication breaking like my Omega has more than once. You don't have to worry about water resistance because, yes, it's only 3 bar or 30 meters, but washing your hands, wearing it in the rain, you're not worried that it's going to fog up if it's slightly humid outside. And it has enough wrist presence, and I'll throw it on my wrist here in a second, but it's not gigantic like, I'm wearing a Speedmaster right now, which is, huge. I mean, not huge, but there's bigger watches. One of my favorite things about this, and I'm hoping that Omega is paying attention, is the inset seconds hand, or the inset minute track, I guess I should say. And that is these individual minute markers in between each hour hand are inset in the dial instead of being around the edges. And that is one of the things that I think sets it apart as having that vintage style. If you go back and you look at Pan Omega Constellations, they have that feature. Vintage Longines have that feature. And like I said, I hope Omega is paying attention. My personal preference and my wish list is for them to release a Constellation with a Pan dial with an inset minute track like this Longines already has. Now, this also comes in other colors with us all silver instead of gilt dial, and they also have a moon phase, and that is my favorite one. It's a little bit thicker, and I hope to see. I'm hoping that Longines will send one for me to borrow for a little bit. But let me just throw this on the wrist, and you can see how it fits. Okay, now here it is on the wrist. I have a roughly 6 3/4, 7 inch, somewhere in there wrist. I don't like to wear my watches super tight. I like them to be able to slide up over this bone and below, and I get really annoyed if they stay in one place. And I think at the bone here is where it's 7, but it's 6 3/4 otherwise. As you can see, it's an excellent, for a 6 3/4 wrist, it is a fantastic fit. It wears really flat, really nice, really elegant. Now, I have most of my shirts are custom made, so people always talk about, will it fit under a shirt cuff? Well, that's such a subjective thing to say because sure, it'll fit under a gigantic shirt cuff from JCPenney, but this is from Proper Cloth. I use Proper Cloth. However, I cut my shirts from Proper Cloth with watch allowance on the left wrist of, I think, 3/4 of an inch. Anyway, so there it is on the wrist. Like I said, it wears really flat. I do see myself owning possibly the moon phase version of this watch. Now that wears thicker. It's instead of 10.3 millimeters thick, I believe it's 12 millimeters thick, or 11.9, something along those lines. It's otherwise identical in how big it is, and instead of a small seconds, it has a moon phase complication there. It's beautiful. I love it. Comes in multiple colors. But there it is, the Flagship Heritage from Longines with the sort of champagne dial, small subset seconds, or minute track, and gilt details. Retail price is $1,900. And if you're interested in this watch, I definitely say go check it out. Longines you can find in a lot more places these days, and this is just an absolutely beautiful watch. And definitely check it out. Most ADs will give you a discount of probably 10 to 20%. So I think this is $1,900. It's an automatic movement. This is a really, really strong contender as an everyday dress watch. So thanks for watching. Subscribe for more menswear and watch content. And thanks again so much for watching.